We have, I'll start by introducing the board. Starting with my left over here is Fred King, Lenore Murad, Byron Elias, Tim Tallman. Bless you. I'm Randy Bogart. Our recording secretary is Dory Shaw, John Montrose, and Karen Stanislaw. We also have our town attorney, Herb Cully, is with us tonight, as well as our codes enforcement officer, Joe Booth. As I mentioned, we have 2 items on the agenda tonight, and what we'll have each applicant do is approach the board, bring with you any documents, anything that you think is pertinent to your particular application. Photos, whatever. And then at that point, we'll open it up. The board may have questions for you. After that, we'll open it up to the audience. Somebody may have a comment on your particular application. At that point, we'll close. And pending anything out of the ordinary, we hope to have a decision on each of these items tonight. I know one of the items is back for, I think, the 3rd time. So hopefully we can, what's that? Well, hopefully we can get that issue resolved tonight. I'll have Dory start by reading the first application.
Okay, the application of Ms. Giovanna Riccardo, 1122 Pleasant Street, Utica, New York, but it's in the town of New Hartford. Ms. Riccardo is proposing to add living space, several rooms, onto her existing home. The existing home is only set back 26 feet from the rear property line. Therefore, the home is non-conforming. This property is located in a low-density residential zone, which requires a 40-foot rear yard setback. This applicant is seeking a 14-foot rear yard setback area variance.
Welcome.
I'm supposed to stand up.
Okay. So tell us what you want to do.
Just trying to add on for my grandmother and my uncle's mentally challenged, so we could all live the same property to take care of them.
Okay. I think we have in here what you really want to do, right?
That's pretty much the reason why. 'Cause
Then
it is-
you're gonna add additional space
Right, for them,
to the back of the building.
Side of it.
the
Side
side,
of it.
because we can't go,
Okay,
yeah,
but you're not going any further back than you currently are.
correct. There was a house
What's
there.
back there?
The
Back-
reservoirs,
Pardon
water
me?
reservoirs,
Yeah.
water board property.
Yeah, okay, now does your property end at the reservoir property, is it?
No,
yours
it's
and-
fenced in where my property ends.
Okay, no.
It's just kind of field and grass and
Who owns that? Does the reservoir?
water board.
Okay. Okay, so the water board owns that, you can't go, okay. And you're going inside.
I
but
maintain
you're
it, but
within-
they own it.
But you're within the limits in terms of your side yard variance with this addition, correct?
My grandparents actually owned a house there for years, and
Okay.
it caught fire about 7 years ago,
Okay.
and had to be knocked down, so.
Okay, so you're just building to the side, and not to the
Yeah.
back of the front. I understand, thank you.
All right. Byron.
I don't- I nothing, I went on and looked at it today, I think it's pretty straightforward what she wants to do. Do you have like a picture of what it will look like, what you're gonna build?
It should be on the
Do you
blueprint.
have it?
Yeah, they got a blueprint, but there's nothing that shows what it'll look like on the outside.
Not yet, no. That's all the architect gave us.
Okay,
He said that was gonna be plenty for the meeting, so.
do you have one?
Yeah, I heard.
I thought everything was there.
Oh, wait a minute.
I thought everything was there.
So did I.
What was that?
Yeah.
Oh,
You're right, we have
Yeah,
one.
this is-
Oh, okay, I thought he did that,
Yeah,
that's,
I thought it was associated with the other.
Sorry.
Yeah, I thought it was the other request.
I got it. Is it gonna be vinyl? What are you gonna put on the outside?
probably vinyl,
Vinyl?
because that's what's there now, so
So
this
it's
way
gonna
it
match.
match.
Everything's gonna match,
Yeah, we're gonna try to make it all match, yes.
same roof line.
Yeah, same roof line. Just we wanted to add an extra garages because we have 3 cars and,
Yeah, I know, it's kind of complicated.
yeah.
See, my house was a garage, and it was turned into a house. So really, I have no basement, no storage space, no nothing, you know? I'm on a cement slab, basically, flat.
Yeah, I got you.
So you need extra space for,
Right.
Yes,
So is the addition gonna be for your grandmother or?
Grandmother, her son who's mentally challenged, and my parents, they all live
Okay.
together,
Okay.
You live there too.
me and my son.
but they live in the existing part of it.
Yeah, I live in the house that's standing at the moment.
It's all detached.
I don't say that, you
It's
said
all detached.
standing.
It's all gonna be attached,
Yeah.
right? Just so, cause, you know, they're gonna need care. It's easier than having to keep leaving my house, you know?
I'll ask, can this be accomplished in any other means? Can this be accomplished another way? What you wanna do here?
Well, I don't have a basement, and they can't go build upstairs, so what do you mean?
That answers my
Oh, okay.
question.
I think we tried at one point, and they said the structure wasn't strong enough to hold
Second story.
second story. Tried years ago, though, right?
Yeah.
There used to be a
Like
house over there.
20-something years ago.
Even
we
if she
were told
added the
no.
second story, she still needed a variance.
What?
They're still looking for
Nakalagay lang ang
accessibility.
plasan ko. Remember ko, push ang tagas mo ang pran ko, no, but I'm fabricated, I need to be like
And there was a house there many
Well,
years ago.
Next door, my grandparents owned it for years, and where my house is now, it was a garage my
Right.
grandfather built, and then he turned that into a house, and then their house got on, so he had to knock it down.
Used to have a couple of dogs.
Yes.
She did, yeah. Mean dogs.
What I meant, huh? I got it.
Turn on the phone.
Karen, any questions?
No, but I think it's grand for now.
We're
All the
set.
materials are gonna match, you're gonna try to make it look like the original
Yeah.
building that's there right now. So in 2 years, when everything fades in a little bit, you never know it was even an addition. And the variance is all on the backside, is what you're looking for.
Side of the house.
Side of the
Side of the
house,
house.
which
Not
right
the
now
back,
she
the back
has,
belongs to water board.
she has a garden there now, which would be removed to build.
I have to defer
On the
to,
side.
Would this be considered an addition or an in-law apartment?
There's no kitchen.
Yeah,
There's
so
no kitchen, okay, so it's just,
There is a separate entrance
So
shown
it's-
for
yeah.
accessibility.
yeah.
but it, so it's just considered an addition.
That's all it is.
yeah, without a kitchen.
Couldn't do the in-law, because I guess you can have more than one room, right?
I guess
So
it's
that's
this way here, you
300
won't
square
have to worry
foot
about
for
getting
in-law.
it
Right
down
there.
after the fact.
You have to cook for everybody.
I have a big kitchen, though.
Okay. Everybody's all set? We'll open this up. Is there anybody in the audience that wishes to speak on behalf of this particular application? No? Okay. We'll close. I didn't see any calls or letters other than United County Department of Public Works, and we'll make that part of the record. And I guess they have no jurisdiction. That's the Department of Public Works. The United County Department of Planning has no recommendation. And that's all that we have.
I really don't have any neighbors next
What's
to
that?
me.
Nothing? I haven't seen anything from them, right?
No, they're
Nothing?
aware of it though.
They're aware of it. Nothing.
They've been looking at it.
Okay. I guess comments. John?
There was a house right next door to it many years, well, not many years ago, 7 years ago. And it was destroyed by fire. And they want to put another house, an attachment onto this house, so they've got more living space. And really, I don't see anything really wrong with it at all. Because where it's located, it's not gonna interfere, it's not gonna change the way the neighborhood is. You got a business right next door to it and stuff, you got reservoirs on the other side, with the hedges and stuff in front of there, you never know it was there.
What even knows there?
It's all fenced
And
in,
like I
it's
say,
all fenced
technically-
privacy.
And we keep the bushes all trimmed and everything, it's all cleaned up. I don't know if anybody.
I actually maintain the water board property too behind
Yeah,
it, so
we
I don't
do.
get all the rodents and everything. So, it's all clean.
Okay.
And I realized that if they were gonna replace the existing house when it burned, they had to get a permit, because the whole house was burnt to it. I got no problem.
Good, you all set? All right?
I agree with what John said.
I think John very eloquently summed it up. Tim?
I'm fine with it. I don't think we have to worry about it being a parking down the road. There's no kitchen being in it, so it's truly just an addition to the house.
Okay. So we looked at the criteria. Whether the benefit can be achieved by the means feasible to the applicant. I don't think so. Is that,
No, you can't go up behind a garage. This is a built for second floor.
I guess that was
And
my
you don't need a
question.
second floor.
Well, that was my question, kind of, to the applicant, was can this be achieved by any other means, and I don't think we can. Whether there will be an undesirable change in neighborhood character or nearby properties.
That I don't think so.
No.
No.
No, because you got a
So
flower shop right next door.
Right?
No, I
No?
don't think so.
No, we're in agreement?
Yeah.
No undesirable change? Whether the request is substantial?
No.
No?
I don't think so.
No, we're in agreement?
Mhm.
Whether the request would have adverse physical or environmental effects?
No.
Not in my mind.
No.
Unless the reservoir gives out, then it might have an environmental issue.
Hopefully that will never happen.
And
I don't think
whether,
it'll be their problem.
whether the alleged difficulty is self-created?
No.
Which I don't believe,
It is,
I
but
don't
I don't
believe.
think it weighs more.
Well, like I said, that's one of the things to consider, but not the only one to consider. So I guess for
It's
that.
aging in place anyways.
Is that?
Good point.
What was your-
Aging in place.
Aging in place, it's like, you're
It doesn't have
making
to
your
move. They don't have to
accommodations
move.
fit where you are in life. Rather than,
And since it's an area variance, it's not a use variance.
Right,
Look at that.
so,
We don't have.
with that said, does somebody want to make a
I'll
motion?
make the motion that we
John?
have the variance
Second.
request.
Karen, second. Fred?
Aye.
I'll give it to them.
Aye.
I,
Aye.
Aye. You all set? Good luck.
Thank you.
See Joe before, you get a building permit.
Right, thank you very much. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Even though it didn't meet didn't meet
She's been struggling a long time to get this one.
That's
didn't meet the criteria.
No.
Did you see the video?
Okay, there it goes. The application of Mr. Stephen Karrat was requesting to build a single-family home on a vacant lot on Stratford Drive in the town of New Hartford. The applicant's lot is not located on a public street and has zero frontage. Zoning in this area is low-density residential, which requires 100 feet of frontage. Mr. Karrat is seeking a 100-foot frontage area variance.
Welcome back.
Randy, last time we were here, some legal issues were raised by me, specifically with regard to proving that there would be access for purposes of ingress and egress to get to this lot.
Right.
And that further, there'd have to be some sort of an easement for utilities to be installed, because obviously the utility companies are gonna need to get in there if utilities are run and there's a problem. We also suggested that Mr. Karrat may want to retain the services of an attorney, which he did, and everybody has got a copy of a letter from Attorney Peter Habaika, who is involved in this. Actually, he is representing the trust as well, and he's provided me with all the legal documents to prove that the trust is legally existing and he has authority to convey the driveway. He's further provided us with a survey and a proposed deed, and the deed has been reviewed by me and satisfies the legal requirements to establish that there is access for purposes of ingress and egress over that blue strip of land that's divided here. And it also will convey the 0.414 acre parcel of land which is shown on that. That is what's intended to be conveyed to Mr. Karrat, and the blue line or the blue strip is the deeded access. And if you'll note at the bottom of the deed, it says, together with a non-exclusive proposed right-of-way and easement for ingress, egress, and utilities. Said easement described as follows. So as far as the legal requirements to provide access, they've met those. Those were my concerns, and I think they've been addressed.
Thank you, Herb.
Well, does that require a variance then?
Yeah, it's not a road. There's no road.
Okay.
Doesn't have the required frontage.
It's a private driveway, basically. Is that how you interpret it, Joe?
Well, it's certainly not a road.
It's not a road, so there is no road frontage.
It's gotta be maintained like a driveway.
Yeah, it's a driveway, really. And the other thing is, if they owned that strip of land, and let's say it was 50 feet wide, then they'd have 50 feet of road frontage. But they don't own it, they just have an easement to go in and out of it. That's why it's 100, whatever it is, the variance is to that extent.
Full frontage area.
Thanks, Herb.
I think this map is excellent because now it really explains what you wanted to do, for me personally. So I don't think I have any more questions.
Thank you.
I think it's clear.
Fred?
I'm okay with it. I've been up there a number of times and I can see what they're trying to do. And now that Herb answered the question as far as the driveway.
Highway's legal.
Yeah. I'm okay.
John?
I have no problem with it. Not that the legal end of the right way promotes.
You still
But that
gotta
would
buy
be
that
close
piece
to
of
what you're
property
saying,
from the county though,
I
haven't you?
will do that next auction.
Yeah. That's just to cross your Ts and dot your Is, that's to protect yourself.
What are you gonna do with the water and sewer now? Where are you gonna bring it from?
From the corner of Midland and Stratford.
No? Well, I don't, there's no extension of the road, so there's no subdivision.
I thought.
Unless you see something else.
Yes. Yeah.
Is it gonna make it easy?
They're gonna make you pay for everything.
No, what I'm saying is, we used to do that, people would say, "Well, you can't fuel on
Extend the roads, then it goes in each of the.
You can pay about
If it's big enough.
Yeah.
We're gonna build right around the road.
Right, that's actually where the house is here.
I just teach her how to do it. Following them.
Which is what happens, that's what the law says right now.
No, Mr. Montrose, you and I have been in trouble before. And I'm
So-
sure before we both go, we will be in trouble again.
That's a fact.
That's a practice. That's right.
That's all.
Okay. I was looking at I wanted to go back to the application and look at a couple things. So I'm all set at this point. Tim?
What type of driveway are you gonna put in so that there is access for?
Crushed run, item 4 compacted,
Okay,
be 6 inches of stone on, filter fabric underneath.
okay. Just so there, there's access for emergency vehicles.
Oh,
whatever
absolutely.
get in there.
Yep. Eventually it'll be paved, but for the first few years it'll be crusher run.
Well, honestly, that was a call from a neighbor, had a question about access for fire or police, so,
And Randy, you may have one neighbor here too, I think, as I recall.
is everybody all set with the applicant at this
I'm all
point?
set right now.
Yeah.
That answered my question about
3
that.
times, I kinda got it now. Took me, the first 2 I wasn't sure, but I got it now.
But it was a good thing they did this. I think it helps you and certainly.
Yeah. A lot of it was necessary for final C of O anyway.
Right,
I just didn't wanna drop that wad right now, but it's all right, I'm happy.
6 of 1,
Yeah.
there's nothing to do.
Sure.
All right. We'll open it up. Is there anybody here that wishes to speak on behalf of this application?
My name is Jeff McDonald. I live at the adjacent property, and I have no problem whatsoever with him building his driveway along there, my property line.
Which one is yours? Is it on the map here? The yellow one?
That's that right there.
Okay.
I have no problem whatsoever. I wish him the best of luck.
Thank you.
Very much.
Jeff.
Thank you.
Put that in the record.
All right. Yeah, and the one that actually called did not leave a name, but that was one of their concerns.
I guess, yes.
No other calls, no other letters, we'll close,
Anything from the county?
nothing?
No.
No.
Or the state.
Other state? Go ahead, sure.
Will you do your driveway in the road before you do the house, or?
Yeah, it's gonna start a week from yesterday, or what's today, Monday, a week from today.
Okay.
Yep. I gotta bring a steel track hoe. It's completely wooded, so I need access to start clearing. So yes, the driveway will be in beforehand.
Okay, now we'll close.
Oh,
Comments?
Send me a sheet there. Driveway first.
yeah.
Yeah, we already.
Yeah.
John, any comments?
This letter, this over here, everything he was talking about, proof in the pudding.
Karen,
Good.
you good? Fred?
Okay. I'm good.
That's everything I thought last time, so I'm good.
I'm good.
This is the third time, I think, I understand.
Sure.
But it's nice to have that, so that
No,
it was perfect.
And honestly, I think that's a good
Mm-hmm.
map that he has there, I think outlines it quite well.
Sure.
Criteria?
I think this is the most important part right here.
The letter for the,
Thing for the attorney?
easement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Whether the benefit can be achieved by other means feasible to the applicant.
No, I don't think it can.
Put an airport in
No, then we're in agreement that we're in agreement. You might, you can have the record reflect that. Undesirable change in neighborhood character of the nearby properties?
No, not at
there.
all.
No.
I don't believe so.
Residential.
Okay.
Build a house.
We're in agreement with that. Whether the request is substantial?
No.
I don't think so.
Want a house on that big lot? Not at all.
Whether the request will have adverse physical and environmental effects?
No.
No.
Whether the alleged difficulty is self-created?
It is.
Well, if you put the land, I mean, if the land was someplace else maybe, but that's where it is. He didn't create it. It was done long before, he was done before he was born, those lots.
Okay, with that said, does somebody want to make a motion?
Randy, I assume that any motion you make would be conditioned upon Mr. Karrat having a signed deed from the Karam Trust, because this is a proposed document, this isn't signed.
That's all that.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, but the letter also said that they signed it if we got approval.
right.
Right, yeah,
So
and
we agree with you,
We'll put
Herb.
it in as a,
Yeah.
Just put it in.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
So, let's go back to the motion though. We want to make sure that we put in the motion.
Yeah, we prove it with subject to it actually, the deed actually being signed.
I got that.
Okay.
You're a good
Okay.
woman, Dora.
person,
Anybody?
good person.
Wait a minute.
Yeah. you
I
had to
did.
go.
Hold on, or a second. Fred?
Aye.
Karen?
Aye.
John?
No,
Lenora did.
she's in it, second.
Aye, you're all set.
Thank
Good luck.
you.
Thank you very much.
I think this is better, though. That map right there, helped you a lot. And that letter.
No, they're visible now.
Your
They're
whole-
tiny.
Minutes?
Yes.
This is all bubbly now, it's fine.
You gotta understand why. Every time.
I didn't read it.
Last night, it's too late.
Minutes.
Oh,
Wait a minute, this is the December
okay,
meeting.
see you,
All set?
good luck.
Thank you very much.
Good luck.
Thank you
Have a
very
good
much.
one.
Thank you.
The minutes?
You want this as a copy?
Karen?
Let's see.
I can bring it back.
Yeah, right.
Aye. Okay, we're good.
All right, December 15th is the next meeting. I do have an agenda. Is everyone going to be here?
December 15th.
December 15th. Then we can go out party.
Yes, I'll be here.
We haven't done that in a long time. Will you be
I'm
here?
gonna start on
Yes, I'll be here.
You sure you want me to call you?